Imagine garoto nacido bero humil de Mount Vernon, Nova York. Ele era filho pastor de uma dona de casa que fazia o impossível para manter a família unida. Esse garoto era Denzel Washington, e desde cedo, ele sensuou peso das dificuldades de vida. Na adolescência, a vida de Denzel foi marcada por momentos difíceis. Seus pais se separaram quando ele tinha apenas 14 anos. E o jovem, perdido e confuso, começou a se desviar do caminho que seus pais tanto desejavam para ele. A escola era desafio. E o futuro parecia incerto. Havia algo no entanto, que o mantinha em pé. Uma centelha de fé e desejo inexplicável de algo maior. Foi uma tarde domingo, durante sermão de SU Pai, que Denzel sentiu algo diferente. As palavras sobre resiliência e propósito penetraram fundo. Ele percebeu que mesmo nas dificuldades, havia pleno maior. Esse foi o primeiro sinal de que sua vida tomaria rumo inesperado. Pergunta ao espectador. Você já se sente perdido? Como a vida estivesse fora do seu controle? Imagine se nesse momento de escuridão, houvesse algo maior, guiando você para propósito. Aproveitando te convido a se inscrever no nosso canal e deixar seu like. Denzel decided to fight for a better future. He enrolled at Fordham University, where he discovered his passion for acting. The stage became a place of refuge and transformation. Every role he played was an opportunity to reinvent himself, to leave behind the insecure boy and embrace a man with purpose. But success didn't come easy. There were rejections, closed doors, and many nights when Denzel questioned whether he was on the right path. It was on one of those nights that he offered a sincere prayer, asking for clarity and strength. The next day, he received the call that would change his life. A role in a play that put him on Hollywood's radar. Over time, Denzel became one of the most respected and admired figures in cinema. His roles in films like Training Day and Courage Under Fire not only showcased his talent but also his ability to touch hearts with deep and emotional stories. Now, let me ask you this. Do you believe that destiny places people in the right place at the right time? What if every rejection was just a step towards something extraordinary? Let's talk in the comments. Have you ever faced a moment of rejection that later turned out to be a blessing in disguise? Share your story with us. Chadwick was a dreamer, overflowing with talent but limited in resources. Growing up in Anderson, South Carolina, Boseman always stood out for his dedication and passion for the arts. He had a burning desire to share his story, his roots, and his culture with the world. But how could he do it without concrete opportunities? When he was accepted into the British American Drama Academy, one of the most prestigious programs in the world, his initial joy quickly turned to worry. He simply couldn't afford the costs. This is where Denzel Washington comes in. The actor, already renowned for his roles in films like Malcolm X and Training Day, never forgot his own roots. He understood the struggles many young people faced because he had been there himself. So, when he was invited to fund scholarships for promising young talents, he didn't hesitate. Denzel never knew exactly who he was helping. He didn't need to meet Chadwick personally to believe in his talent. His generosity was a leap of faith, a bet on the next generation. Chadwick faced immense challenges on his journey. Growing up in Anderson, South Carolina, he always dreamed of using his voice and talent to tell stories that would inspire and represent his community. But the path to stardom was filled with obstacles, many of them related to financial struggles. Shortly after graduating from Howard University, Chadwick moved to New York in search of opportunities in theater and television. But the reality of life in the big city was harsh. He could barely afford the rent for the small apartment where he lived. There were months when the rent was late, and he had to negotiate with the landlord to buy more time. Additionally, putting food on the table was another constant challenge. Chadwick often rationed his meals, frequently surviving on basics like instant noodles and cheap sandwiches. He always prioritized saving money to cover the costs of auditions, knowing that each one was a chance to change his reality. The difficulties increased when auditions were held in distant locations. The money for subway or bus fare wasn't always guaranteed. There were times when he had to walk long distances to get to auditions, wearing borrowed or improvised clothes since he couldn't afford proper outfits. One particularly memorable episode occurred when Chadwick was called for an audition that could have been the opportunity of a lifetime. He didn't have the money for the fare and had to ask a friend for help. With the little he received, he managed to get to the location. But on the way back, he had to walk for over 2 hours because the money wasn't enough to cover the full trip. Even with these hardships, Chadwick never stopped dedicating himself. He spent hours studying his characters and rehearsing his lines, often using city parks as improvised stages. His nights were filled with self-reflection, thinking about what he could do better in the next audition. Still, the road wasn't easy. He faced frequent rejections, often being passed over due to lack of experience or even discrimination. But Chadwick didn't give up. He knew that every no brought him closer to a yes. The turning point came when he received a scholarship to study at the British American Drama Academy in Oxford, anonymously funded by Denzel Washington. This opportunity opened doors and marked the beginning of his transformation. Years later, Chadwick Boseman became a global icon. Yet, he never forgot his roots or the moments of struggle. He used his story to inspire others, showing that persistence and faith can overcome even the toughest challenges. With Denzel's financial support, Chadwick was able to participate in the program at Oxford. There, he immersed himself in learning, honing his skills, and developing the emotional depth that would later define his roles in film. When Chadwick returned to the United States, he carried more than just technical knowledge. He brought with him a sense of responsibility. He knew that his journey wasn't just for himself but also for those who would come after him. This sense of purpose was evident in every role he played. From his performances in 42, the Jackie Robinson story to Marshall, Equality and Justice, Chadwick used his talent to tell impactful stories. But it was in Black Panther that he truly reached the pinnacle of his career, becoming a global symbol of strength, leadership, and pride. As Chadwick captivated the world with his charisma and talent, Denzel remained a pillar of inspiration and generosity. He understood that his mission went beyond acting. Denzel believed that his success only had value if it could open doors for others. He was always discreet about his philanthropy, preferring to act behind the scenes. He funded scholarships, supported young artists, and, as in Chadwick's case, offered opportunities that could change destinies. During Chadwick's speech at the American Film Institute, it became clear that Denzel's impact went far beyond a single act of kindness. Chadwick explained, "The ripple effect of your actions touched not only my life but also the lives of everyone who watched Black Panther. You didn't just help make my dream come true. You gave a voice to an entire generation." The story of Denzel and Chadwick is a powerful reminder that our actions have consequences far greater than we can imagine. When Denzel chose to support young artists, he was planting seeds that would bear fruit for decades. He couldn't have known that Chadwick would become a global icon, but he believed in human potential. How often do we find ourselves with opportunities to help someone but hesitate? Maybe we think our gesture is too small or that it won't make a difference. But Denzel shows us that, even without guarantees, it's worth investing in others. Chadwick, in turn, teaches us the importance of giving back. He never forgot what Denzel did for him and used his platform to inspire others to do the same. Chadwick's success wasn't just a personal victory but proof that, with support and faith, anything is possible. He transformed the opportunities he received into a brilliant career and a legacy that will inspire generations. Denzel, in turn, continued to impact lives. Even after decades of success, he never lost his essence. He remained true to his belief that true greatness lies in lifting others up. Today, when we look at the story of Denzel and Chadwick, we see more than two talented actors. We see two lives intertwined by an act of generosity and a belief in human potential. The story of Denzel Washington and Chadwick Boseman shows us that the world needs more people willing to believe in the dreams of others. It's a reminder that sometimes, what seems like a small gesture can spark extraordinary change. And you? Are you ready to be a positive force in someone's life? Who knows, the next great talent, whether in art, science, or any other field, might just be waiting for an opportunity to shine. Did this story touch your heart? Did you know about this real-life story? Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Share how this message impacted you and tell us what you would do to change someone's life. Together, we can spread hope and inspiration.